So to quickly talk about Kiriko's abilities, okay, we have Protection Suzu, which upon impact, allies in the area become briefly invulnerable and are cleansed of most negative effects. Teammates can become invulnerable for a second. Obviously, you can survive things like Junkrat tire if timed correctly, and also cleanse, right? So for example, Junkerqueen's ultimate, you can cleanse the anti-heal, which is pretty huge because if you think about it, like I think Zarya was one of the heroes that could cleanse, so having a cleanse hero is definitely very interesting. Then we have Kunai. The thrown projectile increases critical damage, which means that if you hit headshots with it, you do a lot of damage. There's a lot of damage. And there's Swift Step, which teleports directly to an ally. Then the healing ability, where you'll be able to kind of throw it towards your teammates, kind of like Brig Pack. So if you've like seen how Brig uses their heal, very similar. And then the ultimate, Kitsune Rush, will summon a Fox Spirit that rushes forward, accelerating the movement, attack speed, and cooldowns of all allies that follow its path. So you'll be really fast, you'll have increased attack speed, and your cooldowns will be up quicker. So a lot of these heroes are going to benefit greatly from that ultimate. And the passive where you can wall climb. These are all the abilities. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through all the heroes. So Ana, we're going to talk about Ana first. Obviously, with all the heroes here. Ana, I think will be pretty good in the ultimate, but like, I feel that if you pair a bunch of heroes there, I think with Ana's cooldowns and abilities, Ana would probably be like okay in that ultimate. Ashe. Now here's my question. Ashe with increased attack speed, right? I feel like Ashe would be strong because you have the increased attack speed and you probably wouldn't even have to zoom in. Think about that with Ashe. Like, would you even have to zoom in if you're playing aggressive like that anyway? Like, you're just speed boosting in as Ashe and then you just don't even zoom in. Like, imagine how fast that would be with increased attack speed. The reload would still be kind of long. I guess that's true. Okay. So I guess that depends specifically on the reloading, right? So I guess it depends on the reloading. But yeah, like in theory, like if the reload's quicker, then Ashe would get a lot of value there. Now here's an interesting one. Bap. Talk about this combo with Kiriko just in general. Bap comboed is almost like the double immortality comp. Because you could be aggressive, have Lamp, and you can also have Protection Suzu. So like, that is an interesting combo that I would not doubt we would see that. Okay, here's my question. I don't know what the damage modifier will be, but if you window at the end of like the ultimate, so everybody runs through the ultimate with window at the end of it, I'm just thinking like, if you window to increase the damage with the increased attack speed and the cooldown reduction, I feel like BAP would be a really strong combo here because that'd be very interesting. You said no bongo anymore, so at least there's that. Yeah, so technically we want to have that. All right, chat. I mean, this is a hero that I think, in my opinion, will be really strong with the ultimate, Bastion. Because Bastion's changed in Overwatch 2 now. So with Bastion, you can go into like, yeah, you can go into turret mode and move a little bit with that. I think Bastion in that ultimate will be really strong. With the increased attack speed, I think Bastion will be really strong with that. We have Brig. Well, here's the thing with Brig. If your cooldowns are regenning really quickly, imagine Brig armor packs, as well as like, just like swinging like really fast in the team, right? I think Brig would be pretty good. It feels like, I mean, to be honest with you, like most of these heroes are going to be pretty good when you do that. But like, it feels like Brig would be like really difficult to, like Brig will get a lot of value, but like not as much as the next hero we're looking at here, Cassidy. I can already see how this is going to be with Cassidy. Cassidy in the ultimate using roll. Right clicking extremely fast. Like imagine the right click with the increased attack speed, an increased attack speed right click into a roll into an increased attack speed right click. Like imagine that. Like Cass to me is going to be so strong in that ultimate. I feel like Cass is going to be extremely strong because roll right click, roll right click. D.Va. This is interesting because D.Va doesn't reload. D.Va doesn't reload. So D.Va, through the ultimate, have an increased attack speed and movement. I think D.Va actually might be really strong in that ultimate. You said decreased cooldown on the Matrix too, though. So yeah, you could have a lot of DMs. So like D.Va could lead in with the team. It really is dependent how far away the team is playing though, obviously. So like, to give you an idea, I guess it depends. Like, here's my take. If like at the end of the ultimate, D.Va's able to have that increased speed boost, you could get to somebody really fast as D.Va. You know what I mean? Because if you get the speed boost increase and then you fly to somebody as D.Va, like D.Va could do like get a lot of value. So yeah, D.Va will be interesting with that. Doomfist, you know, I feel like Doomfist with that ult, you probably won't see Doom using the ultimate as much to get that full value. Now I could be wrong. Obviously, you know, Doom could use a couple of like you could probably have like your damage reduction quicker, but like I feel like more of the time Doom's just gonna kind of be out of the ultimate. Or like will be really aggressive off of the ultimate. So Doom would be good in the sense that like you're going to be aggressive and create space for your team, but I'm not sure if it would combo as well as like Cassidy in the ultimate, right? Echo, I feel like with Echo, same kind of concept, like thinking of it now, the stickies from Echo, imagine how quickly you could have those right clicks up. Now, obviously, like, Echo's strength as a hero isn't just being, like, on the ground with your team, but imagine getting, like, the right clicks, like, on cooldown in there. That's a lot of damage, right? That's a lot of damage with the right clicks. But I don't know, like, I feel like that'd be pretty good. Genji, I'm not sure how Genji would combo as well, right? Because, like, your left clicks are going to be fast, your right clicks are going to be fast. I guess with the ultimate combo, you could be really fast to get to them and have increased speed with... I guess you could have increased speed with Blade. I didn't even think about that with ultimates. Wait a second, does that... Well, Cassidy's ultimate? Yeah, because that would work the same way that you would see Nano. It would, like, speed up a lot quicker, right? So Cassidy in general is going to be good with that all. So I guess you would pair Genji more with, like, Nano than you would that ultimate. It's something that would definitely have to be, like, tested. Okay, Hanzo? Storm Arrow. Like, just having more Storm Arrows? Yeah, more Storm Arrows, because if you have Hanzo and you're just Storm Arrowing in, I can already see, like, Storm Arrow into Storm Arrow, and then obviously Storm Arrow has a little bit, yeah, exactly, with the increased fire rate. So you have the increased fire rate, you have Storm Arrow, and then also you have the Scatter Arrow from the Storm Arrow, that is, right? Not Scatter Arrows, like, not Scatter Arrows in back, but, like, Storm Arrow has a little bit of Scatter Arrow on it now. You have, like, that's gonna be something. Now, obviously, it can be very map dependent, right? For example, if we're playing, you know, Dorado with this ultimate, it might not play as well as, like, King's Row with this ultimate, right? But it can still work really well. Junkrat, you said issue is with Junkrat even being the ultimate. I mean, obviously, if it's communicated that you're going to be using your ult, there's a chance Junkrat would be the ultimate, right? But yeah, I'm not sure yet. Junkrat's going to be an interesting one with that one, because if you get your mines up that quickly, and it, like, refreshes your cooldowns that quickly, then the Junkrat mines alone will do a lot of damage. But then it goes to, like, will the Junkrat mines boop them out of the way anyway, and then you won't get as much value with it. Oh, you're right. The tire would be super fast, though, too, right? You're right, because the tire would be super fast. So in theory, you could use tire with it. All right, Lucio. I have a feeling that combo is going to be something. What I mean by that is, if Lucio combos with the speed boost and you're able to play really aggressive, it's going to be like, your team's going to be zooming, right? Your team's going to be zooming. As long as the Lucio doesn't boop everyone away. Listen, not wrong. Mei. Let's talk about Mei for a second. Now, Mei has the really fast right clicks now with the increased attack speed, but does it also amp up how quickly your left click? So as you know, well, not necessarily as you know, in Overwatch 2, they got rid of, like, the ability to freeze people, but you have, like, increased damage off of your left click. So does the attack speed on the left click increase how quickly your damage, like, will ramp up, or your damage is with Mei? Because if that's the case, then left click Mei would be it would almost be like, I'm very curious to see how that combo is going to work. Because it feels like you could just run into the team and left click, right? Just hold left click into the team. I'm very curious on that one. Mercy, you know, it's funny because I feel like something that could work really well, though, is the remember, it's increased attack speed, but if you, like, combo the ultimate with Valk, right, you could just have not only increased speed, increased attack speed. I mean, increased damage. So that AoE healing, right, and, like, the AoE healing and the AoE damage, as well as, obviously, you said, like, having, like, Guardian Angel up, like, really, really fast, could lead to some, like, really fun plays you can do, to the point where, like, it's almost like a guaranteed team fight, because you can Valk damage boost everybody, you can also Valk AoE heal, and you can, you know, listen, you can also battle Mercy, you know what I mean? Oh, you said the res, too, yeah. I guess it depends on, like, how long the cooldown is with all that. Moira, this is a tough one to say. I don't know, like, I feel like having multiple Moira orbs would be strong, but can you have multiple Moira orbs on the map? All right, then yeah, you're gonna be vibing out. You can probably throw multiple Moira orbs. You said it happens all the time in Total Mayhem. Well, that answers my question. There you go, then. Damage orbs, healing orbs. All right, chat. Orisa. Orisa, with the increased speed boost on Orisa, with the Javelin spin, as well as your Javelin, I feel like Orisa would be extremely strong in that comp. Like, you could just go in with Orisa. Orisa could be really aggressive and use those abilities to not only absorb the damage, but then knock them back enough, not enough to, like, where you'll be out of, like, your teammate's ability. Like, I think Orisa would combo extremely strong. Exactly, because you're fortified. Like, I feel like Orisa would be extremely strong with that. 100%. So, Pharah, like, I feel like with Pharah, and this kind of goes back to what we talked about with Echo, probably just won't have as much value with the ultimate. I mean, I think, like, if you're in it and you can shoot the left clicks really fast, then that's going to be insane. But, like, obviously, I mean, if I'm playing Pharah, then I think probably awesome because I play a ground Pharah. But, like, overall, I'm not sure it would quite combo as well. On to the next one here. As we saw when Ana was first released, Reaper comboed with increased speed I think Reaper in this could be really, really, really strong, especially with the increased attack speed on the left click too. Obviously, that's going to be dependent on a few things with like how quick your reload is. But Reaper being aggressive, imagine Reaper with the ultimate. Like you can have a aggressive play style with Reaper there. And I'm very, 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 very curious to see how that will play out. Like very curious because Reaper can be very strong with that. It's going to be more about play style. I'm not necessarily looking at the cooldowns there and going like, wow, this is like, you know, Reaper's cooldowns of that. But I think it would be interesting to see. Yeah. Reinhardt. I mean, Reinhardt with 2 fire strikes already, increased cooldown with fire strikes. Reinhardt having speed boost, which I've always talked about. I feel like Reinhardt always benefits from speed boost. I feel like there's a lot you can do with Rein during that ultimate. Obviously, it's kind of a wait and see what other tanks are being played, how Rein will play. But I mean, I feel like Rein could just spam fire strike and do a bunch of damage and be aggressive, 100%. Roadhog, I guess having your hook up a couple times would be pretty good. Yeah, I mean your hook and your heal, like both of them would benefit greatly from that. You can hook and you can also heal pretty fast, so you have the ability to not only be aggressive as Hog, which Hog's playstyle in Overwatch 2 is already very interesting because you don't have the ability to kind of like in 6v6. A lot of the time, Hog kind of can disappear from a team fight, and in Overwatch 2, it's a lot more obvious when Hog does because there's one less tank, right? So, yeah. Sigma. I'm looking forward to this because Sigma is going to have the really fast left clicks. We saw it in an experimental a while back too, where you have these like really fast left clicks, but you're going to have all of the projectiles. You're going to have the rock. So you can rock a lot more. I think Sigma will be pretty good in that. I don't think Sigma's playstyle is quite the best combo with the ultimate, but I think that you can definitely have a lot of fun on Sigma in that. Yeah, I think so. Soldier 76, I think Soldier will be really strong in that because you can probably use your Helix consistently. And also just having the increased, like this, just the fast left click alone. You know what I mean? Just the fast left click alone, I think will be just really, really strong. Soldier sprint, all that, like Soldier will have fun with that. I mean, I think one thing to keep in mind though is like, you know, you can still be like one shot if they're like sitting back and you're Soldier there. So a lot of these heroes are strong when we see what their abilities will do. But you know, Widow could still one shot Soldier across the map, like as you're doing that, right? So you know, even though you're gonna be really fast as Soldier, I'm not quite sure if you'll be like, I guess Soldier ultimate comboed with this though would be crazy, right? But it's not like you're gonna be just running at them like full sprint front line of that Soldier because you know what I mean? So, you know, like, with all the heroes, you're not gonna be like, you know, just doing that. So, Sombra, I feel like Sombra would just have infinite hacks at that point, right? Because the cooldown on hack is already pretty quick, correct? It's like 4 seconds. So yeah, so like when your ability, you're gonna be able to hack like almost on cooldown. Okay, Symmetra. The right clicks will probably be really good during that, but I'm not quite sure because if it's increased attack speed, that means your right click would obviously go a bit faster. So with the right click would probably do pretty well with that. So probably doesn't synergize as well with the team comp, but I could definitely see some like really, really good plays with the right click. Torb, I mean, Torb, I think Torb would do well in this. Hear me out, because you have your, Overload. I think that Torb being able to play really fast and aggressive with Overload, because obviously Overload already does that. Torb will have a little bit extra HP, and then you have all, like, I think Torb would benefit really well from that. Like, not from like I think just from Torb's left click and right click alone, I think Torb will benefit from that a lot. And you can obviously have the hammer if you want to, take out the hammer and start attacking really fast with that, right? So Tracer, it's interesting with Tracer. I feel like Tracer is going to be strong with that with the increased attack speed, but this goes down to the reload speed again, right? If the reload speed's increased, then I think that, or decreased, then I think Tracer will absolutely dominate in that, right? But that's going to be what it's going to be about, right? Like, because if you're shooting, if like you're shooting it really fast, but then your reload speed, like I still think Tracer will be good with that, but I'm curious on that one. Widowmaker, I think it's a buff for me on Widow, and hear me out. 3 reasons. 1, I don't hit headshots on Widow anyway, so this will allow for me to just right click and left click really fast still. 2, I can grapple away quicker. And 3, I'll have my Venomine up more, because that's usually the only time I get a limbs with my Venomine, as well as I usually play SMG Widow. So Widow is probably one of the few heroes that doesn't like really see much value from this a little bit, but doesn't mean that Widow won't, right? Like, don't get me wrong, like a Widow, if you can right click in and charge up really fast and you're good at Widow, you can dominate. Think about that. A well-placed like Kiriko ult with Widow in it, where Widow can just shoot really fast with the right click. Like, you can have like really quick right click shots out of Widow. So I think really good Widows will benefit from it. Me on Widow, better hope if we can play SMG Widow, we're gonna be good to go. Winston, I guess having your bubble up quicker would be nice. The speed boost would be nice. The being able to jump a few times, like the leap, but I feel like Winston will be okay with that. It's something like that we would have to like obviously see, but like I think Winston would be okay with it. It's interesting because Winston can be OP with it because it's going to be just dependent on a lot of stuff. And I think that's what we'll end up doing when we do like a lot of like the the myth busted and like all that, we'll kind of look at that. So Wrecking Ball, I guess pile drive, but you'd have to like be able to find a way to pile drive and then get back into the ultimate and then pile drive, right? Wrecking Ball will be okay with that. Here's one that I am very curious about. Zarya. I think Zarya, in theory, would be really strong with this, because right now, as Zarya, you can personal bubble twice. So I'm not really thinking necessarily about, and don't get me wrong, like bubbling your teammates here is like key. But if you have like Zarya in front of everybody, I think Zarya could just bubble at least 3 or 4 times. I don't even think like, I feel like Zarya would almost be like unkillable during that ultimate if you get your bubbles up that quickly, right? Because you could probably bubble yourself 3 to 4 times. So I think Zarya will be really strong in that. It doesn't mean Zarya will be absolutely the best with that ultimate, but I think Zarya and playing aggressive, I think you'll be at 100 energy and you'll be aggressive on that with 100%. So I'm definitely curious in that one. And yeah, Winston's left click probably. And then Zenyatta. I think Zenyatta will just benefit from the increased speed and then the right click and left click. I think the right click and left click will just be pretty good. So, and then we also have Sojourn, which I think Sojourn pretty good. I think Sojourn will be good because you can just be super aggressive with like your slide. You can also just left click really fast now to get your right clicks up quicker, and then you can right click a lot faster. So I think Sojourn, and as we've seen in OWL, Sojourn is like just really strong. I think it'll be really good. Junkerqueen, I think Junkerqueen will pair very well with this combo in general because you can then obviously speed boost and be aggressive. Having your cooldowns up, especially like your ability to melee, things like that. I think Junkerqueen will be better. Obviously your left click will be stronger. So Junkerqueen, pretty much the same as some of the other heroes. Like I think will be okay in the combo. I think Junkerqueen is more gonna benefit from the team comp itself than the actual ultimate, right? You know what I mean? I think that's where Junkerqueen might do well with the ultimate, but I think Junkerqueen will benefit a lot just from like the team comp itself. You know what I mean? I think that would be probably a good play. All right, chat. So there we go. We went and looked through like every hero that we think like with the combo. That was fun. All right. What do you think, chat? Is that a good video?